Do you want to see how our Bergara B14R performed over 18 different types of ammo? Stay tuned. Hey there, Ring Steel Nation. Welcome back to the bench. Today we're going to do a long-awaited video on this Bergara B14R. I have shot 18 different types of ammo through this gun, which represents over 1,000 rounds of ammo. And today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at all the groupings from this rifle and see kind of what this rifle likes. So a couple things about this format that I'm using. There's a guy out on YouTube named Daulton, and I really like the format that he does. He was shooting 25 Fowlers and 25 Fowlers and Siders, and then shooting five-shot groups for record. And that's what we're going to do. So that's exactly 50 rounds, one box per sheet. So what you're going to see in this format is you're going to see one of these NRL 22 sheets here, and on this side here I'm just doing my Siders and Fowlers, and then on this side is for record. I will put all the data up so you guys can see kind of where it ended up, and we'll just run through all these. I could have turned this into 18 different videos shooting each individual piece of ammo, but you know what, that would just take entirely too long. All this was shot. One change that I made to the process that Corey used is, instead of shooting from 50 yards, and you guys are going to see a lot of 50-yard videos out there on the Bergara and other 22 rifles, I shot everything at 75 yards instead of 50 yards. There's a lot of people that want to see these past 100 yards, and a lot of you guys that want to see them at 50 yards. And 75 felt like it was a pretty good compromise between 50 and 100 yards, obviously. The other thing that I really like about that is on the high velocity ammo, it gives it an opportunity to get subsonic and affect the group if it's going to affect the group. So rather than shooting at 50 and then 100, I chose to shoot at 75 yards directly. The other thing is this will allow us to go back at some point, and probably real soon, and take the top ammo that we liked and shoot that at 150 yards. So keep that in mind. What you're going to see is the calculations in MOA. So when you see groups at 50 yards and they're a half-inch group, well, you know, a half-inch group at 50 yards is a one MOA group. A 3/4 inch group at 75 yards is a one MOA group. So I have gone ahead and converted all those so you can see apples to apples as you're watching other videos on the net that are all shot at 50 yards. So with that said, we're going to go at 75 yards. The other thing that I did to let you guys know, I cleaned this gun after every brand was fired. Actually, not even every brand, after every box was fired. So if I was shooting SK that day, I cleaned it after every single one of those. I shot my 25 Fowlers, and then we went for record. So there was a lot of cleaning going on. I really like a clean gun. I know other guys are shooting until the accuracy falls off, but for the purposes of this, I wanted the sample set to be the same all across the board. So every single box went through a clean gun. They all got 25 Fowlers. They all got five-shot groups, and that's what you're going to see here. The other thing I wanted to mention is, and the reason why this video took so long, is I shot all of this in calm conditions. I took the time to wait on days that were calm. On my range here at my house, the entire west side of that range is lined with two sets of trees. There's a set of cedars on one side, and there's a set of pines on the other side. We're also in kind of flyover country, and there's a ton of tumbleweeds, so those all blow into the cedars. It's a really good windbreak, and I shoot right next to those trees. So even on a day that is a 10-mile-an-hour day with wind, it'll get completely blocked where I'm shooting at, assuming the wind is anywhere from the northwest to the southwest. If it's coming from any of those directions, I'm going to be calm in the area that I'm in. So all these are shot in calm conditions and should not be affected by the wind. So with that said, let's get this gun out of the way. So as I mentioned, we'll be using Corey's format, and basically what he does is he shows you the ammo, He's going to work from worst to best, and that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to start with the worst groups that we got out of this gun, and we're going to work all the way up to the very best groups we got out of this gun. So the first rounds that we shot in here, or the worst ones, were going to be this Federal Target Grade Performance. I was actually really surprised by this. I generally have pretty good luck with this ammo, but man, it was really bad in this gun. In fact, so bad that I'm glad I didn't shoot this first, because I really would have thought there was something going on with this gun. But the deal is, I couldn't even measure this. I mean, like, I'm aiming here, some are going in here, some are going down here. I was aiming here, one flew over here. It's just all over the place. Even the sighters, when I shot the Fowlers and then tried to sight the gun, and I never could really get the gun sighted in. There's like 27 shots over here on this side, and there should only be 25. It's just an absolute mess. So this stuff just did not shoot well in this gun, and we're going to move on. Next up, guys, is the American Eagle. It is the American Eagle. This is the 40 grain. These are high velocity rounds. These shot here, you know, there's pretty poor. It was a 2.738 MOA. This 5-shot average was a 2-inch average at 75 yards. So we're 2.738 MOA. It really never really grouped well. I mean, at least I could see that there was, you know, 5 shots here and kind of blew into here a little bit, but it was really bad. I didn't have any great expectations for this ammo, to be honest with you. You're going to see a trend. All of these first ammos that I shot were all high velocity rounds. This gun does not like high velocity rounds at all, and I think that's why we're seeing these big groups here. So 2.738 MOA for the American Eagle high velocities. Next up, Thunderbolt bulk pack. Yeah, these are a lot of fun to shoot, especially when you need to shoot a lot of ammo. But you know, for precision rifle, they're not great. So as you can see here, we've shrunk the group size down. It was 1.6-inch average on the 5 for record here. They're consistently bad. That was the one good consistent thing, is they're just consistently bad. 1.6-inch group. Averaged over 25 shots, and this came to 2.13 MOA. Also, I do want to point out this is a high velocity round. Anytime you see a HV over here, that's what you're looking at. So next up is Norma TAC 22. This was an interesting round. It shows that it should be a subsonic round. I think it's at 1,100 feet per second, but they consistently broke the sound barrier coming out of this gun, and I think that's why we're seeing what we're seeing. Again, guys, we're going worst to first, and these are all at 75 yards. This Norma TAC 22 shot on average 1.367 groups, and then in MOA that converts to 1.822 MOA. So this is under 2 MOA out of this gun at 75 yards. There are moments here where it tries to group. Here, even on the sighter side, there's occasions where it tries to go here. This last one's a 0.617, but it's just kind of all over the place. There's a lot of vertical dispersion here, and so I think that's what we're seeing. But this was going supersonic, even though it does show that it's a subsonic round in this particular weapon. So anyway, Norma TAC 22, 1.822 MOA. Next up, I thought I'd give these a try. It's old CCI MiniMags. I shoot a lot of these in my pistols. I really enjoy shooting them. I'm not because it's a precision rifle, I try not to shoot any copper washed ammo in there, but I wanted to give this a try for you guys. I think this is the only copper washed ammo that I fired out of this weapon. So the CCI MiniMags are up next. Those are also obviously high velocity rounds. We averaged on these 5-shot groups here 1.355 for a MOA average of 1.806 MOA. You know, it's pretty consistently bad all the way across the board. So nothing, and it looks like there's some good bit of vertical dispersion here too. I don't recall when I was firing this whether I felt like, you know, I was hearing them go slower or faster. Sometimes, you know, when you get one or two that sound hot and they'll shoot high, but I didn't get that feeling here in this deal. So anyway, yeah, CCI MiniMags, these are really for your benefit. Somebody would eventually ask me about this, so that's what we've got here, and these are high velocity rounds. Next up, Blazers. These are the Blazer 22 40 grain, 40 grain from a bulk pack of, I think there's 500 rounds, 10 of these boxes inside their bulk pack. These are, as I mentioned, high velocity rounds. And again, still the same thing. This gun really does not like high velocity rounds. This, we ended up at an average of 1.152 at 75 yards. This is 1.5 MOA, 1.536 MOA over these 25 rounds here. They are just consistently the same. I don't see really any difference from one to the next. It never really shot well. I went ahead and shot these. I had them and I wanted to give them a try, and that's what we've got here. So those are the Blazer. That's the Blazer 22 40 grain high velocities. All right, guys, so now I believe we're completely out of, those are all the high velocity rounds that I had to go. So now we're going to start into what would generally be considered, more of the match ammo or things you might see in match. Everything previously is stuff that I really didn't expect to see shoot well. I had it available, and I know you guys would want to know, kind of how it shoots with bulk ammo versus match ammo. So we started getting into this SK ammo, which really surprised me. We're about midway in here. We've already talked about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ammos. This is the 7th worst shooting ammo, which is this SK match. And I shot several different types of the SK match, or the SK brand ammo. I was surprised to see that this didn't shoot well. So I shot this SK, and had a lot of high hopes for it. I was thinking it was going to shoot. And here on the cider side, it has moments where it's really kind of pulling in. In fact, these are all pretty good here on the Fowler or cider side. And I go to shoot for record, and it starts opening up a little bit. There's moments where it looks pretty good. For those of you that don't know, I shoot off of a rest, a Caldwell rest, and I shoot off of a sandbag on the rear. So that's how I generally shoot, and I shoot from a bench when I'm doing these. And of course, I mentioned that I do this on a calm day. It just didn't do well at all. It was 1.068 average for these 5, and it was a 1.424 MOA. Now, I wondered if maybe I did something, or there was something goofy going on with the gun at the time that I did this. So on a separate day, I decided to come back and reshoot the SK rifle match. And you'll see that I actually reshot several SK ammos as we go through there, because I felt like, man, something was just, maybe it wasn't right. So on a separate day, I came back and shot the SK match. And this is the target here that I did that day. I averaged 0.909 for 1.212 MOA. So there's not, it's a 0.2 difference between this and this. So it really didn't shoot it very well at all both times. Both of these were from the same lot, and I had basically the same result. There are moments where it feels like it's gonna kind of group, and then you get this crazy flyer, you get this vertical dispersion. I experienced that both times. So the gun's not a big fan of the SK match. In fact, you'll see as we go through this, it doesn't feel like that it's a fan of any of the SK ammo. So anyway, that's the SK rifle match. I know a lot of you guys will be wanting to know about this one. Okay, next up, that's the SK pistol match. I bought some of this thinking, well, we'll give it a try. Everybody seems to like it, and it seems like it shoots well. And here's our target here. So again, it has its moments just like the SK rifle match, where it kind of shoots nice and it's grouping kind of well. Here and here you can see this one's got a nice group. There's 5. I would guess that this is probably a 1/2 inch, close to 1/2 inch, close to 1/2 inch, and then you get this crazy vertical dispersion, which just kind of happens out of the blue. So again, where it might have some good groups here, a 0.584, a 0.763, you get a 1.3, 1.5. It's just kind of all over the place. I'm pretty sure that has to do with the velocities that are coming out. So anyway, that's the SK pistol match. It really didn't do well. It didn't shoot MOA or sub MOA. Next up, Aguilla. This is the Golden Eagle match rifle. Another one I wanted to try. This was, I believe this is made by Eley. In fact, it says right here it's Eley Prime. I don't recall what the head stamps look like on these, to be honest with you. But this is what we shot next, which was the Aguilla Golden Eagles. Here we go here. It's starting to get a little bit better. We averaged a 0.916 here. It's starting to try and group a little bit. Not a whole lot of vertical dispersion in here. So, you know, this is something, you know, maybe we go back and look at with the barrel tuner, but still it shot a 0.916 at 75 yards. That translates to a 1.221 MOA. So not a real good shooter. We're still not at sub MOA at this time. And this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 9th worst shooting from the slots of different ammos that I tried. We are at the halfway mark, and we've got another 9 to go. So anyway, Aguilla Golden Eagle, 1.221 MOA. Up next, everybody's favorite. I was pretty excited about this. Guys, I wanted to try this CCI Standard Velocity. Man, I shoot a lot of this stuff, and I was like, well, this would be awesome if it shot great, and I would be pretty excited about it, because I don't know what this costs. $5 a box? I don't know, $6 a box. Right now, I have an idea. I bought a lot of this some time ago, so I've got a ton of it available. But today, maybe it's $7 a box. I'm not even sure what it is. But anyway, CCI Standard Velocity. And actually, for as inexpensive it is, I mean, you look here, we shot SK rifle match. What's this cost? Like $10 a box here, and this is a few dollars even less. The CCI Standard Velocity outperformed it by a good bit. Here's our target. So over these 5 shot groups, we averaged 0.851. We're getting close to an MOA load here. This is 1.135 MOA. Keep in mind at 75 yards. I'll keep repeating that throughout this discussion. There are moments where it kind of shoots where there's a 0.562. There's a 0.873. Here's a 1.23. It just kind of got away from us. But yeah, it didn't shoot horrible. I mean, for as inexpensive as this stuff is, it really didn't shoot that bad. So anyway, I wanted to give this a shot and see how it went. Also subsonic ammo, as the rest of these are going to be. CCI Standard Velocity, 1.135 MOA. So up next, guys, is this SK long range match. This is one I was also excited to shoot. You know, I heard some good things about this ammo online, and really wanted to try it. It was kind of a mid-range ammo. It's not too expensive. I hear that it shoots well at long ranges. I think this ammo comes out of the gun close to transonic speeds. It definitely was not going supersonic. I did not have any cracks going on in the gun, and also you'll see here that the round, it really wasn't that bad. So here's our target here. This is SK long range match. This was very close to MOA, 1.086 MOA. And you can see here the targets. There are moments here where here's a 0.529. Those two are in the same hole. These two are in the same hole. You know, it's trying to group here. It's trying to group here. It really consistently shot not horrible in here. We averaged a 0.8154, and the MOA calculation would put it at 1.086 MOA. That's your SK long range match. This was another one that I said, you know, maybe I did something goofy. So I came back and reshot this ammo. So I have the other target here. This is the second day I shot this ammo. And if you'll remember, I shot a 1.086. Look at this, 1.099 on a second day. Same gun and everything, and it basically wasn't shooting any better. Shot nearly identical from the same lot. So 1.099 on this one. I would say this is a 1 MOA deal. I think we could get it there, no problem. But anyway, wanted to show you guys that. I went ahead and shot it twice, and basically ended up with the same. I got some of this RWS rifle match. I've actually never shot the RWS rifle match. This is the first time that I shot this ammo. Wanted to just try it on a whim. You know, I probably should have got some of the R50 and tried that also, but this was what was in stock, so that's what we shot. It didn't do horrible. It's pretty much right at MOA. Here's the target here. You know, here's a nice little group here on the cider side. Some vertical dispersion is getting us here, but then it kind of tightens up in some areas. That's a .490. That's a ½ inch at 75 yards, so that's sub MOA. This is right at, this is sub MOA too at 75 yards. So, you know, it's really trying to group. It wasn't totally getting there. That's a .803 average here, and for MOA calculations, it's a 1.07. So a solid 1 MOA ammo in this particular rifle. Next up, Lapua CenterX. Man, I was hoping this was going to shoot like crazy good. I was just thinking, man, this thing is going to just knock it out of the park. I'm not going to have to test any more ammo. Wasn't necessarily the case. I mean, it shot all right. It's 1 MOA ammo in this particular gun. I mean, look at this right here. That's a .314 at 75 yards. Here's a .518 at 75 yards. But then you get this kind of crazy flyer over here. Keep in mind, there's no wind. These were all shot on calm days. You look over here, I've got a nice group kind of going here. That's definitely sub MOA. We know this one's sub MOA right here. Anyway, this 5-shot, 5-group averaged at .784. The MOA calculation is 1.045 MOA. So, yeah, it just didn't shoot as well as I thought it was going to shoot. So I was pretty bummed about that. I've got some more of this from the same lot. We'll probably try it on the tuner and see if we can do anything about it there. I mean, it's not, the vertical dispersion is really not bad, so maybe a little tuning on the gun will solve that issue. Lapua CenterX. All right, guys, next up, we're getting into Eley. Eley Club. You're going to find something real interesting as we go through these here. This is, and I'll save it. I want you guys to see it as they come up. But this is Eley Club. This was the least expensive Eley ammo that I shot. It shot right at MOA 2. It shot better than the Lapua CenterX. Look at this, guys. That's a .19. .19. That's a .75. That's 1 MOA. You know, it's got some vertical. It shot, you know, that .19 saved the group probably more than anything. It averaged .761. 1.014 MOA is the calculation on the old Eley Club. I will tell you this. I've learned 2 things about this rifle as I've gone through this. Number 1, it does not like high velocity ammo. You guys saw all the first rounds that we shot was all high velocity ammo. It does not like high velocity ammo, and it seems to prefer Eley. I say that because the next rounds that you're going to see is the next grade of Eley that I went up to. I wanted to try this. I mean, it's semi-auto, but it says Benchrest Precision. I thought, well, maybe, heck, it'll shoot good. I think this is $10 a box is what it is. And the old Bergara seems to prefer, like I said, the Eley ammunition. Here's our target here for the semi-auto Benchrest Precision. Look at that. We averaged, this is the first scorecard that averaged sub MOA. This averaged a .969 MOA, so we're sub MOA on this. Over this 5 shots here is .727. Man, this shot pretty good. I mean, here's a 1/2 inch group, some 1 MOA groups here, sub MOA. It consistently shot pretty good in this gun. When I picked this Eley Benchrest Precision on this Eley Benchrest Precision, the Eley Match, and the Eley 10X that you're going to see here in a minute, I purposely chose lots that were different speeds. I didn't just want to buy something that was like 1067 across all three of them. I wanted to try different speeds because I just wanted to see what the heck this gun would do. So that's an Eley Benchrest Precision, $9.99. I'm pretty certain is what I paid for this at Kilo Shooting Sports, and it shot really well. The gun seems to like it, and we're finally under MOA here. As I mentioned, you're going to keep seeing this. This is the next grade up, Eley Match. I mean, guys, look at it's going in order. Eley Club, Eley Benchrest Precision. Here's Eley Match. I was hoping this stuff would shoot pretty good, and it really didn't shoot too bad. We're sub MOA. We're at 75 yards. I tell you what I really like about this Eley Match. It makes really nice, clean little cuts in the paper when it goes through. Makes it real easy to measure. I do like this stuff. I will tell you, as I got into the Benchrest Precision and then into the Eley Match, because the gun was shooting so well on these, I really had an easy time seeing this Eley Match from the gun to the target in flight. So maybe it's the color, because this is more of a silver color, I guess it is. Maybe it was catching the glint of the sun. I'm really not sure, but I could see these in flight pretty well. So I was pretty happy with that. What do we have here? So and this first one really threw it out. That's a 1.328, but you take that one out and you've got excellent groups here. Here's a .431 at 75 yards. Look at this one right here. That's a .224. This was the second best group that this gun had shot. It averaged .690 over those five shot groups. That's a .92 MOA. So this Eley Match is looking pretty good. And again, guys, we haven't done any lot testing. This was about just getting a bunch of ammo, trying a bunch of ammo, and just seeing what correlations we can find. And as I mentioned, I found two correlations. Number one, the gun does not like high velocity ammo. It didn't matter what we threw at it. It didn't like it. And without doing any lot testing and just getting random samples of Eley, they all performed well in this gun. So the gun seems to prefer Eley ammunition. Let's see, what do we got next? Eley 10X. Like I mentioned, right in the row, this is the second best ammo that we shot out of this gun. And the number one ammo is questionable. I'll tell you why in just a minute, because you guys are going to laugh when you see it. But anyway, Eley 10X. Listen, here's a .283. Man, those are all touching. 75 yards. .550. This one's the only one that's not touching there. .540. This consistently shot well. We had a 1.153. Some kind of velocity issue going on there. I'm really surprised by that, but I actually think this shoots better than what you're seeing here. But man, we're doing pretty well. That's a .661 average over those five shot groups. That's a .881 MOA at 75 yards. You know, if this was at 50 yards, you would be looking at a .44 group at 50 yards. So this is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyway, Eley 10X shot pretty well. So here we are. We've looked at a lot of ammo today. 18 different types of ammo, and we were at the number one shooter. I can't even believe I'm saying this, guys, because this is crazy. Right here. SK Standard Plus. I have no clue what happened here with this deal. No clue at all. This was the number one shooting ammo in this gun on this day. It really didn't shoot well over here on this side, on the siders and fowlers, and then for whatever reason, it got happy. And it started grouping, .533, .472. Look at this one down here. Those are all almost touching, .463. It just consistently shot well on that day. And we ended it at a .608. This was the best card this gun to shoot. That's a .809 MOA. And yeah, I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. So you guys know the same thing happened with the SK long range here, and the SK rifle. This Standard Plus way outperformed the SK rifle match by a ton. I can't even remember what it was, like almost 1.5 MOA with the rifle match. I went back and reshot the rifle match. It shot about the same. Went back and reshot the SK long range. You saw that target. Shot about the same. I did the same thing here. And this is what happened. Here's the next day that I shot the target whenever I shot this on the second time around. Still shot well, but it shot way different. Where this time it shot 0.809 MOA. The second time I shot it, shot a 1.056, which is kind of where I would expect this SK Standard Plus to have been. And keep in mind, this card and this card were both shot with the same lot number, identical lot numbers on this one and this one. So yeah, guys, I don't know. Do I trust that the gun's going to shoot SK Standard Plus at a 0.809 MOA every time? No, it's just not going to happen. But it you know, look at this one here. Holy smokes. That was getting ready to be a really good group. One little flyer out there. This is what you kind of would expect. Here's another one. There's 4 shots right there. One little flyer kind of kicked it out. I don't know. Maybe there's a chance. I still got several boxes of this SK Standard Plus. We might put this into the barrel tuner and see if we can't tighten them up. I mean, it's looking pretty good. I was pretty impressed by this SK Standard Plus. I mean, both times it technically shot pretty good. I just don't know that I can trust 0.809 MOA, but that's what happened. SK Standard Plus. So guys, that's a big reveal. The Bergara B14R, 18 different types of ammo, over 1,000 rounds on these sheets here, not to mention some other rounds I shot outside of just these here. I think I've currently got about, it's almost 1,500 rounds. I think it's 1,450 is what I've got in this gun currently logged. And as I mentioned before, you know, guys, you can probably get some of this ammo and lot test and get something, you know, shooting pretty well if you do several lots. But what I found in this is that the high velocity ammo consistently shot poorly. Doesn't matter what ammo I threw in there that was high velocity, it shot poorly. And I kind of expected that. So there was no surprises. What surprised me, I would say, is that the SK brand ammo didn't shoot very well. And I kind of expected to shoot better than it did. And then as you move up into the Eley, all the Eley right in a row, Eley Club, Eley 22, Benchrest Precision for the semi-auto, Eley Match, Eley 10X. They all shot right along with each other, and they all consistently got better as it went up. The gun clearly favors Eley, and I don't know, maybe it's got an Eley match chamber. I don't know if you guys know. Put your comments down in the comment section. I don't know what kind of match. I know this gun has a match chamber. I don't know if it's an Eley, if it's a Lapua. I can't imagine. Maybe there is an SK match chamber. I don't know if that's the case. But the gun clearly liked Eley, so I think that's where we're going to focus our efforts, is around Eley. And then we got this crazy SK Standard Plus, man. I still don't even know what to think about that. But anyway, I hope you guys like this format. Let me know down in the comment section. I mean, this took a lot of time. It took a lot of money. Finding 22 ammo now and match ammo has been really tough. Finding calm days to shoot, all the cleaning that went on to get this gun clean between each one so that you guys saw something that was the same. I wasn't shooting any of this with a gun that had 300 or 400 rounds every single time this gun was cleaned after a box of ammo went through it, so that I can be as consistent as possible on this video. Also, I chose 75 yards. You know, a lot of you guys are gonna say, well, you should have been shooting at 50 yards, or, you know, it'd been nicer if you were 25 yards further at 100 yards. You know what, 75 is just what I selected. I just don't shoot less than 75 yards in. I mean, a 50-yard target, I'm not shooting Benchrest. I don't generally shoot at 50 yards. I'm shooting at 75 yards or greater. I wanted to get all this lot testing done. We could have stretched this out into 18 different videos for you. and just drug this out for the next year. But I wanted to get this out as soon as possible because I want to move on. I want to start working with the barrel tuner. You guys know that I purchased the barrel tuner. That is coming up real quick, and here it is right here, that KSS, what is this, KSS ATN or ATS tuner, the tuner that I purchased for this gun. So I'm excited to get started on this to see what it does. So I just wanted to get this out. There are a few more different types of ammo I want to try. Knowing that it shoots Eley well, I actually want to try the Wolf Match Extra. It's made by Eley, and I'm just curious. I'm really curious to see if it shoots well in this gun, so we're going to buy up some of that. I also want to try the Eley Pistol Match, and I think I had a couple other boxes that I was thinking I was going to buy. So we might do just a few more different boxes, but for the most part, you know what, I'm just done testing all these random lots. We need to kind of find a round and get this thing going. We also want to test the barrel tuner, as I mentioned. So let me know down in the comments if you like the 75 yards, or if you'd much rather see it at 50 or 100 yards. Like I said, I've converted everything to MOA for you. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed to the channel. We are getting better. As I've mentioned in the past videos, I'm showing a deal now. I think 96% of you guys that are watching this video are not subscribed to the channel. My plan is to keep showing this to you, and let's see if we can get our subscription numbers up a little bit higher. This is all so that we feed the YouTube algorithm and I get seen more so that I can bring you more content. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. I want to continue bringing you guys content, and you guys leaving comments down in the comment section and liking and subscribing to the channel helps me focus my efforts where it needs to be. I can do pistol stuff. I can do reloading. We're going to get back to reloading. I got a 300 Win Mag that we still haven't finished that series of videos on. We've got the 6mm Creedmoor out there to deal with. We got our pistol caliber carbine. I've got a bunch of different guns that are in various stages of load development that need to be completed, and I've got several new pistols that need to be reviewed. So we're going to be doing all of that. Anyway, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Happy shooting.